My beloved child, before you take another breath, listen closely, because the moment you've been trying to avoid, the truth you've been unknowingly walking toward, is already standing at your door. And your son, yes, your own child, has been silently carrying a weight so heavy, so heartbreaking, that even the strongest soul would bend under its pressure. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 111. A new silence begins here, the kind that doesn't come from the absence of sound, but from the heaviness of what is finally ready to be spoken. For months, your son has been hiding the truth behind his forced smiles, pretending everything is okay, because he believed you deserved peace even at the cost of his own. He has been packing pieces of his heart into a goodbye he never wanted to say. But life has pushed him to a corner where silence has become more painful than the truth itself. And today, the invisible wall he built is cracking. Every day he told himself, tomorrow I will tell them, but tomorrow never came. And now the truth is trembling at the edge of his lips, begging to be released. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 222. Another revelation opens now, deeper than anything you imagined. Your son has been watching you from a distance, not physically, but emotionally. Studying your strength, admiring your endurance, and fearing that his truth would break you. He's been preparing himself for a goodbye he never wanted to give. A goodbye he rehearsed alone at night, biting back tears so you would never hear him break. This is not about anger, not about mistakes, not about failure. This is about love that hurts because it is too deep. Your child has been carrying a decision forced by circumstances he couldn't control. A path he must walk, even if it takes him away from you. His heart is torn, his hands are shaking, and his silence has become a scream inside him. And now, destiny is pushing everything to the surface. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 333. My beloved child, brace yourself, because the moment you finish these words, your heart will sense something it has been trying to ignore. Your son's truth is not just a confession. It is an emotional storm he has been containing for far too long. He has reached the point where silence is no longer protection, it has become a burden crushing his spirit. He knows you feel something shifting around him. He knows you've sensed distance, hesitation, sudden quietness. These were not signs of disrespect or anger, these were the cracks of a child trying not to break in front of the one person he loves the most. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 444. A fresh wave of truth begins here, deeper and more piercing than the last. Your son has been writing letters in his mind, letters he never planned to send, because he feared his words would hurt you more than his silence. He whispered goodbyes into the void, not because he wanted to leave, but because life has pulled him toward a path he cannot avoid. He stood at the doorway of decisions, trembling, praying that somehow destiny would shift and keep him close to you. But destiny has spoken. The time he feared, the time you never expected, is approaching. The tearful goodbye is near, not because love has weakened, but because circumstances have grown stronger. And inside him, a storm of guilt, fear, and love is colliding all at once. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 555. A new truth rises now, one that will change how you see every moment he lived beside you. Your son has been pretending to be strong so you wouldn't worry. But when he goes to his room, when he lies in bed facing the wall, when he sits quietly staring at nothing, those are the moments when he lets the truth slip. He wipes tears quickly so no one sees. He folds his hands tightly to stop them from shaking. He rehearses how to tell you, rewriting the words again and again, always breaking down at the end. Because this goodbye is not rejection, it is sacrifice. This goodbye is not abandonment. It is destiny pulling him forward while his heart begs to stay with you. And now, he is preparing, slowly, painfully, to finally open his heart. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 666. My beloved child, the air around you is shifting, and you can feel it, even if you've been trying to deny it. Your son's energy, his silence, his distant eyes, they are all whispering a truth he no longer has the strength to bury. He has reached the edge of his emotional endurance. Every heartbeat inside him is trembling with the weight of what he must finally reveal. His goodbye is not a choice, it's a wound. A wound he's been hiding so you wouldn't bleed with him. But destiny has circled back, and the moment he feared is drawing closer. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 777. A new doorway to truth opens here, and what lies behind it is heavier than he ever wanted you to carry. For days, weeks, maybe months, he has been trying to protect you from heartbreak. When you looked at him with love, he looked away, not out of disrespect, but because he feared his eyes would reveal everything. When he smiled, it felt forced. When he ate, he swallowed grief instead of food. At night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, counting the hours he had left before this truth could no longer be postponed. He has been fighting with destiny, pleading with life, wishing for one more day, one more moment, one more breath beside you. But life has not given him a choice. His silence has been saying what his words couldn't. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 888. A deeper revelation unfolds now, the kind that echoes in the soul long after the moment has passed. Your son has been living in two worlds, one where he smiles for you, and another where he cries for himself. He has replayed this goodbye in his mind 1,000 times. He imagined how you might react, what you might say, how your voice might tremble. Each scenario broke him more. He wasn't afraid of leaving, he was afraid of leaving you. He wasn't afraid of stepping into the unknown, he was afraid you'd think he didn't love you enough to stay. But the truth is the opposite. He loves you so deeply that carrying this pain alone felt easier than watching you suffer with him. Now, his heart is at the breaking point. And destiny is preparing to reveal everything at once. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 999. My beloved child, what you are about to sense is not just emotion, it is the breaking open of a truth your son has guarded like a secret doorway inside his heart. He has carried this alone for so long that even his shadow has begun to bend under the weight. The goodbye he's preparing for is not something he wants. It's something life has cornered him into. And every step he takes now feels like walking with trembling feet toward a moment he wishes he could erase from destiny. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 1111. A deeper current of revelation rises here, one that reaches straight into the silent places of his soul. Your son has spent nights replaying memories with you, the laughter, the small moments, the times you held him when the world felt too heavy. He has clung to these moments like lifelines, hoping they would give him strength to face what he must finally reveal. His heart is speaking louder now, trembling between fear and honesty. And though he tries to act normal around you, the truth keeps slipping through the cracks of his eyes. Every time you look at him, he wonders if you can sense it. Every time he walks away, he wonders if it's the last time he'll walk out without speaking everything. The goodbye he's preparing for is not a departure from love, it's a testament to how deeply he cares. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 12:12. Another truth awakens here, sharper, heavier, more unavoidable. Your son has been standing on the edge of confession, waiting for the moment when his heart finally gathers the courage to break. Because yes, this goodbye will break him. He has imagined the moment he will finally speak, and he fears the sound of your silence afterward. He fears your tears. He fears the look in your eyes. Not because he doubts your strength, but because he knows his truth will shake the foundation of your heart. Yet destiny has reached a point where hiding is no longer an option. The truth must spill. The goodbye must approach. And the moment he opens his heart, everything will change forever. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 14:14. My beloved child, the moment you've been sensing is no longer far. It is standing right before your son's trembling heart. He has reached the edge where silent suffering can no longer survive. The goodbye he has been preparing for is pressing against his chest, begging to be spoken, and he is running out of ways to hide the storm inside him. His eyes have been giving you clues, the way they linger a little longer, the way they fill with unspoken words, the way they shift when you ask if he's okay. He wants to tell you, he needs to tell you. But every time he tries, his voice breaks before the truth can escape. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 15:15. A new emotional layer unfolds now, heavier, deeper, and more fragile than ever before. Your son has been holding on to moments with you more tightly than usual, observing your expressions, memorizing your smile, cherishing every second in quiet fear. He feels time slipping through his fingers like sand, and it terrifies him. He watches you from the doorway when you don't notice. He sits beside you longer than necessary. He hugs you with a little more pressure, trying to store the warmth in his memory. These are not coincidences. These are silent goodbyes he never wanted to give. He has been trying to be brave, but even bravery has limits when the heart is drowning. He whispers to himself, "How will they handle this? How will they look at me once they know?" And each thought shatters him a little more. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 16:16. Another layer of truth rises here, one that reveals the depth of his internal battle. Your son has not only been hiding the truth, he has been protecting you from the impact of it. He knows your heart. He knows your love. And he knows how deeply this will shake you. That is why he kept carrying this alone, believing that if he bore the weight by himself, you wouldn't have to hurt with him. But that burden has grown too heavy, too sharp, too overwhelming. His silence is starting to break from the inside out, and soon the truth will come through whether he speaks it or not. His soul is reaching the point where the pain cannot be disguised anymore. This goodbye is not the end of love, it is the beginning of a truth that destiny has been preparing for far longer than either of you realized. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 17:17. My beloved child, the truth is no longer knocking gently, it is pounding on your son's heart, demanding to be released. He has reached the point where every breath feels tight, every silence feels dangerous, and every moment feels like it could be the one where everything finally spills out. The goodbye forming inside him is not made of words, it is made of tears, memories, fear, and love so deep it hurts. He is standing between the world he knows and the world he is being pushed into, and the weight of that transition is slowly breaking him open. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 18:18. A sharper wave of revelation rises here, one that exposes the emotional battlefield your son has been surviving alone. He has been carrying guilt, guilt that is not his, guilt shaped by circumstances he cannot control. He thinks he is disappointing you, even though he is not. He thinks his destiny will hurt you, even though love will hold you together. He thinks saying goodbye makes him weak, even though it proves how deeply he feels. He has rehearsed the moment 1,000 times in his mind. Sometimes in those silent rehearsals, he imagines breaking down in your arms. Other times, he imagines walking away before the tears betray him. But no matter how he imagines it, the ending tastes the same. Pain, love, and the hope that you will somehow understand what he couldn't say sooner. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 19:19. Another emotional truth unfolds now, revealing what he has been hiding behind the silence. Your son has been afraid of your reaction, not because he doubts your love, but because he knows how deeply your heart feels everything. He knows this goodbye will echo inside you. He knows your eyes will search for answers. He knows your soul will tremble for a moment. And that fear has kept him quiet far longer than he intended. He didn't want to see you cry. He didn't want to be the reason your heart broke. So he chose to break alone. But destiny is done waiting. The moment is approaching where the truth will stand between you, impossible to delay. And when he finally opens his heart, the tears you both have been holding back will finally find their way out. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 2020. My beloved child, the moment his truth has been circling around is almost here, so close that your son can no longer outrun the weight of it. His heart is trembling in ways you haven't seen before, even if he tries to hide it behind quiet nods and half-smiles. The goodbye destiny is pulling him toward is now shaping every breath he takes. His mind keeps whispering, how do I tell them? How do I break something I never wanted to touch? He stands at the doorway of confession, terrified yet desperate for relief. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 21:21. A deeper emotional storm awakens here, and it is one he has battled in silence for far too long. Your son has been living with a secret countdown inside him. Each day that passed, each moment he shared with you, each small gesture, he held it tighter than before, knowing time was quietly shrinking around him. That's why his hugs felt different recently. That's why his eyes softened when you spoke. That's why he lingered, hesitated, paused as if memorizing your presence. His heart has been trying to take snapshots of you, snapshots he feared he might soon need to hold on to. He has cried alone, not because he doesn't trust you, but because he wanted to appear strong, for you. He thought being honest would hurt you more than it hurt him. But now the truth inside him is louder than his fear. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 23:23. Another truth breaks open now, and it carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken emotions. Your son has begun preparing himself, not physically, but emotionally, for the moment he finally reveals everything. He has been collecting courage in tiny fragments, courage that came from memories, from your love, from the quiet power he inherited from you. But courage doesn't erase fear, it only gives him enough strength to walk through it. He fears what will happen the moment he says the words. He fears how your voice will tremble. He fears seeing the tears he's been trying to protect you from. Yet he knows this goodbye, this shift, this painful truth cannot stay hidden anymore. Destiny is pushing both of you toward a moment where everything becomes clear, where the heart breaks in order to heal, where silence ends and truth finally speaks. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 24:24. My beloved child, the moment of truth is now breathing down his neck, closer than his own heartbeat. Your son can no longer hold back the tears that have been burning behind his eyes for weeks. His goodbye, this heavy, tear-soaked goodbye, is beginning to spill into everything he does. His footsteps are slower. His voice is softer. His laughter fades sooner. Every movement carries a quiet tremor, as if his heart is begging him to release what he has been burying for far too long. He wakes up with a weight on his chest and goes to sleep with a knot in his throat. Destiny is no longer whispering, it is demanding that the truth be spoken. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 25:25. A deeper breaking point arrives here, revealing the emotional battlefield he has been walking through alone. Your son has been trying to be strong, but strength has limits. And he has reached his. The pressure inside him is cracking open memories, fears, and hopes he tried to hide. He has stared at the mirror, practicing the words he needs to tell you, but when he sees his own reflection, tears blur the lines. He whispers, "How do I say goodbye to the person who taught me what love is?" He has been fighting between two worlds, the world that wants him to stay, and the world that is pulling him away. And he feels guilty, torn, responsible for a pain he never intended to cause. But his silence has become a cage, and he no longer has room to breathe inside it. Destiny is pushing him toward honesty, even if that honesty breaks both of you for a moment. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 26:26. Another wave of truth unfolds now, heavier, clearer, impossible to ignore. Your son has been holding his goodbye like a wound pressed tightly under his ribs. Sometimes he touches his chest without realizing it, because that is where the ache lives. He has been preparing for the moment when everything finally comes out, and he knows. Once he speaks the truth, nothing will be the same. But he also knows he cannot continue carrying this alone. He has reached the end of his silent suffering. His emotions are spilling into his actions, the long pauses, the sudden deep breaths, the moments where he looks like he wants to speak but loses courage at the last second. His heart is preparing to surrender the truth. His soul is preparing to crack open. His goodbye is preparing to rise. And when it does, the storm he has survived will finally be revealed. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 27:27. My beloved child, the final layers of your son's hidden truth are trembling, ready to break into the open. His goodbye is no longer a whisper in the background, it is now standing directly in front of him, demanding to be faced. His emotions have swollen to the point where even the smallest moment threatens to shatter him. When you speak, his eyes glisten. When you smile, his throat tightens. When you walk away, his heart stumbles. He is holding on to every second with you, praying time will slow down even though destiny keeps pulling him forward. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 28:28. A deeper emotional quake begins here, revealing everything he has been swallowing just to keep you from worrying. Your son has reached the point where pretending is no longer possible. Every time he tries to hide his pain, it climbs up his chest stronger than before. He grips the edges of chairs, clenches his fingers, takes long breaths, doing anything to keep from collapsing under the truth he's been carrying alone. Inside him, the goodbye has taken shape, a goodbye that isn't born from anger, or distance, or disconnection, but from a destiny he never wanted to confront. He fears you will misunderstand. He fears you will think he doesn't care. But the truth is, this is hurting him more than it will ever hurt you. He has been breaking quietly, slowly, silently, because he didn't want his tears to fall where yours could see them. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 29:29. Another revelation bursts open now, revealing the depth of the emotional battle he has survived alone. Your son has been carrying memories like sacred treasures, your voice, your warmth, your guidance, holding on to them because he knows he may need the strength of those memories soon. He has been whispering apologies into the darkness, apologizing not because he did anything wrong, but because he is afraid this goodbye will make you question his love. He has stood at the doorway many times, wanting to walk in and finally speak, but every time he tries, emotion chokes the voice inside him. He fears your reaction, your hurt, your tears. Yet destiny has cornered him, leaving him no path except honesty. The moment is coming, the moment where silence will break, where truth will rise, where he will finally open the door he kept closed for far too long. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 30:30. My beloved child, the line between silence and confession has thinned to almost nothing. Your son is now standing at the very edge of the moment he has feared and longed for at the same time. His heart is pounding with the weight of everything he has kept hidden, everything he has carried for your sake. The goodbye rising inside him is no longer a distant possibility, it is an unavoidable truth pressing against his soul. He is exhausted from pretending, exhausted from holding back tears, exhausted from being strong when all he wanted was to collapse into your arms and say, "I can't do this alone anymore." His breath shakes when he thinks about telling you. His hands tremble when he imagines your reaction. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 31:31. A deeper emotional rupture opens here, exposing the raw truth he has tried so desperately to protect you from. He has imagined this moment again and again, imagined your face, your tears, your silence. And each time, the imagined pain inside him grew heavier, tighter, sharper. That is why he stayed quiet. Not because he didn't trust you, but because he loved you too much to let you hurt before the time came. But now destiny is no longer waiting. The goodbye he has rehearsed in whispers is beginning to take shape in his voice. The words he swallowed night after night are rising like a wave he can no longer hold back. His heart is breaking under the pressure, and even if he tries to hide it, you can feel the shift in the air, the heaviness, the tension, the emotional electricity that signals everything is about to change. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 32:32. Another profound truth emerges now, revealing that this goodbye is not the end of love, it is the proof of how deeply he feels it. Your son is preparing himself emotionally, gathering every fragile piece of courage he has left. He knows once he speaks, there is no going back. He knows life will change. He knows your heart will shake for a moment. But he also knows honesty is the only path left. He has held on to you with all the strength he had, and now he must face a destiny that is calling him, even as his soul begs to stay near you. He has cried quietly, prayed silently, hoped desperately for a miracle that would let him stay longer. But the truth has reached its final hour. And when he finally speaks, every unspoken tear, every hidden fear, every buried emotion will rise like a flood. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 33:33.